Joe, fucking hell, Joe.
I love you.
Yeah? Joe, you alright?
What's happened?
Your show started. It's 10 o'clock.
Hello.
Joe, it's 10.
I think I passed out or something there. That's better. There we go, lads. Here we are. Jacket. Yes, please. That's what we need. Come on. We're live, aren't we? Welcome. Late night live. I need the jacket. I don't know what happened there. We're just setting up. Last thing I know, I was setting up. Next thing you know, I've got Alex waking me up on the floor, and he's here today as well. Actually, I've got a few in the studio for the first time. Actual help. Can you believe it? Someone in the comments already saying massive brain damage. You wish, mate. Tonight's sponsor, once again, Friday night, cans. So a big thank you to our sponsor, ruining lives for almost 1,000 years now. So thank you very much, Lager. Oh, this is Oscar worthy. Cheers, mate. Tonight, then, what are we talking about? What do you think we're talking about? What do you even think we're talking about? We're talking about Bruno Fernandes, £60 million deal done, or is it? Don't even get me started. Manchester United looking to have completed a £60 million deal for Bruno Fernandes. Transfer bell, off it goes. Clicky click, snip, snip, snip. I'm out of breath. I'll be honest, it takes it out of you. Passing out, collapsing like that. Unbelievable. We're also going to be talking about Paul Pogba. We're going to be talking Ashley Young is left. Maguire. And Lagers, eh? Maguire's the new captain for Manchester United. We're also going to be talking Romelu Lukaku's giant bed. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out, lads. I'm not even joking you. But let's get right into it, shall we? Let's get right into it. Sky says the deal is all done, Joe. Well, does it? Because the only thing that I get from the Sky is my news from the Transfer Seagull. Bloody hell. Caught me off guard there, lads. I'm not going to lie to you. Come on then. Come on. What do you want to talk about today? Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, obviously. It's all you ever talk about, isn't it? It's all you ever talk about. You'll be lucky we talk about Ashley Young later. Your arch nemesis. Bruno Fernandes then. Where do we start? Tell you where we start. That can go off. That can go off. This can go on. This is honestly the most up-to-date, technologically advanced setup in all of the world. Let's start with Bruno Fernandes. Laptop, please. There she is. Sky Sports News. Manchester United close to £60 million Bruno Fernandes deal. Bing, bing, ding, ding, ding. Portuguese international could complete his move after Sporting's derby with Benfica on Friday evening, which we are keeping our eyes on. I can't click on it right now because it's copyright as heck. United will pay £43 million up front with an extra 17 potential millions in add-ons. Fernandes is set to earn £120,000 a week at the Old Trafford Club. You know, the Old Trafford Club. We all call it the Old Trafford Club, don't you? What team do you support? I support the Old Trafford Club. Oh, do you? I support the Anfield Club. Don't know what they put that for. It's a very journalistic term, isn't it? You can't write Man United too many times, so you have to come up with things like the Old Trafford Club. Instead. But I'm sure he can't wait to get his boots on for the Old Trafford Club, of course. But let's look at this, right? First of all, let me know what you think. 60 million quid. Is that a lot? Is that not enough? 43 million up front. That seems really good to me. 43 million. Right, the other day I went and got a pizza. That was 28 million for one pizza in the Northern Quarter. I've had a haircut that cost 43 million quid. This lager, 70 million, but that was for 4 in fairness, but 70 million for a lager and 43 million for a player of his standard. I don't mind that at all. And 17 million in potential add-ons that has been discussed as well. And that looks as though it will be things, if Ed Woodward's usual sort of antics or anything to go by, that'll be things like, you know, him winning the Ballon d'Or, United winning the treble, Fernandes' first name being Lerone at the start of the 2023 season. All these ridiculous, miraculous possibilities that tend to happen when Ed Woodward is getting his fingers into some potential add-on clauses. I think there was a Ballon d'Or clause in Zaha's contract when we bought him. That might be a lie, but I remember something like that. But anyway, 60 million seems like a good sign. It seems brilliant. We're all excited. Stephen Alson was losing his mind earlier on the transfer review. We're all very excited. And then next up, here's the video that sort of supported that. Bruno Fernandes will travel to Manchester United after tonight's game. This is the Benfica game that we're seeing tonight, to watch the game at Anfield on Sunday. I think it means the Anfield Club, not Anfield. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's the Old Trafford Club versus the Anfield Club on Sunday. Bruno will earn £120,000 per week. That's like Tottenham wages, that, innit? That's really low. That's less than Marcus Rojo. That's less than Phil Jones, which, you know, maybe that's just a rumour, maybe that's not true. But then again, they are still at the club despite not playing, so maybe 120 grand is actually less than they're being paid. So that seems like a great deal to me. 120,000 a week. What more could you want? Well, where are we? Ashley Young, not that one, that one. Here we go, look, this is when the worrying things start happening. This came out tonight from 5 Live. Let's pause that as well. This came out tonight around 7:16 p.m. This is Darren Fletcher, not that one, from BBC 5 Live Sport, saying that Bruno Fernandes' move to Manchester United FC is in severe doubt unless Sporting Lisbon drastically reduce their asking price. Now, there's a few things to dive into here. The first thing I'd like to dive into is, since when's Darren Fletcher been giving out the transfer news? We like Simon Stone, sure. We like Simon Peach. If it starts with a simple Simon, that's how I get my transfer news. Simple Simon. Simon says, sign Bruno Fernandes. And then Ed Woodward does it. I think it's the only way it can be done. Simon Says is one of the few sort of legally binding verbal contracts that can be uttered. And then Simon says, United will buy Fernandes. And they do. But Darren Fletcher's the one bringing us this news. You know, is it exactly reliable? I'll go into a bit more detail. He says that United want to pay 55 million for him. Sporting want 80, which is, 25 million different. Tottenham apparently bid 45 million in the summer for him. They turned that down. And it's all getting a bit scary now, isn't it? He's saying that the move is in severe doubt. That he said, unless my sources are mistaken, there is no chance he'll be at Anfield on Sunday. Unless he buys his own ticket, he says. Come on, Darren! We're trying to have fun here. It's Friday night. I wanted to play this. Can't even play it because I'm on the wrong screen. I wanted to play... One sec. I wanted to play this. But I can't play that now because Darren Fletcher's ruined it. I thought we were just going to be having a laugh tonight. I thought these cans would go down like, Aaron Hernandez, but they're not. I'm struggling to get through this, to be honest with you. This kind of a premium imported lager. Because Darren Fletcher's lying to us. I don't even know if he is lying to us. I just want it to be a lie. Then the real nail in the coffin. Not nail in the coffin. Let's slow it down a little bit. This was retweeted by Simon Stone, as you can see there from Reddit. Now, again, let's have a look at a couple of options here. Is he just retweeting his mate? Because they both work for 5 Live, they both work for BBC. Let's support each other. We'll retweet him. Maybe he is. Or maybe they both heard this same thing and Simon Stone doesn't want to sort of regurgitate the same news that has already been broken by Darren Fletcher. Now, again, I think Simon Stone likes to have his own kind of, this is what I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. I think if he knew this, if Simon Stone knew of this news independently of Darren Fletcher, I think he would have tweeted it himself. We see Simon Stone, let's face it, he likes that negative tweet in the days leading up to a transfer. Aaron Wan-Bissaka the day before, no fee has been agreed before the transfer was done. The next day it's done. Harry Maguire, no deal has been agreed. The fees are still some way off. Next day it was done. I predicted, because they call me Mystic Joe, I predicted a couple of days ago that there was going to be some kind of, this isn't going to happen, guys, leading up to this transfer. It always seems to happen. Every big transfer, especially involving United, the story that sells in the days leading up to the transfer is, here, this team's coming for him, the valuations aren't the same, they can't agree on a figure, this. There's always some news to be had that the deal isn't going to happen. Now, I'm not saying that this is a lie or this is fake or anything like that. I'm sure he's got good sources. But hopefully, I'm clutching at straws, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared. But hopefully, we will be able to get this one over the line. And any news or details that come out in the next sort of 10 or so minutes, I will be bringing you with absolute relish if it means that we are looking towards a Fernandes future at Manchester United. Right, moving on. We'll come back to Bruno Fernandes because, quite frankly, I'm sick of him. I'm sick of hearing about it. Next up, Ashley Young's left. Club captain Ashley Young has left the building. The Old Trafford club wish him all the best at the San Siro club. Ooh. The blue and black one, not the red and black one. Manchester United there saying, thank you for everything, Man United. Wishing you the very best of luck at Inter Milan. Ashley Young has also said, there you go, look. To the United fans, every time I walked on the pitch wearing your shirt, I gave you my all. Thank you for your support during the highs and the lows. I leave as one of you. See you again in the way end soon. Look at, and then little rock fingers as well, look, because he's a bit of a rocker, is Ashley Young, as we can see there. You know, it's nice to wish Ashley Young a goodbye, isn't it? Obviously, he's been a good servant at the club. He's tried his best. He's tried his very best, and he's a bit of one of these, a bit of a rock guy, as we can see from that tweet. I think you've got to be nice to Ashley Young. He was the captain of the club. He's going to Inter Milan. What are they doing, by the way? Their squad is 500 people deep. They've got like just a whole assembly hall full of pensioners as their team. Do you know have you ever visited like someone at an elderly centre and there's like 50 people just sat in like the day centre? Do you know where they just sit in the day and they get like spaghetti hoops and that? That's what Inter Milan's dressing room is like. It's just an old people's home. I don't understand what's going on there. Maybe Conte just wants some people his age to have a laugh with in between games, but it is working. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Right. And look at this, look. Inter Milan players want Alexis Sanchez loan turned permanent. What are they playing at? They can't just have everyone. Alexis Sanchez's teammates at Inter Milan wanting his loan from Manchester United turned into a permanent deal. Calm down, everyone. It's only his teammates. The manager hasn't said a word yet. Hasn't said an actual word. Right, for now, let's have a look what you lot are on about. Half time. What's the score? What is the score? I'm gonna bring it up. The score in that game is seemingly 0-0, I think. We saw a great ball from Bruno Fernandes before. Rashford equals beans. Bruno equals cans. Cheers, Bruno. Pink gin and olives, I bet. 200 likes and Joe gets a gin. I've actually got people in the studio today. You won't believe it, but there are people here who are going to go for some drinks later. They've invited me out for the drink for the first time, guys. I think I'm one of the cool kids now. Imagine Joe with no beard and short hair. You don't have to imagine it. Just add me as a friend on Facebook. When I decline you, add my mum as a friend on Facebook. And when we've got enough mutual friends, you'll be able to see those pictures. Mystic Joe. Joe has hair like Claudia Winkleman. He definitely uses Head and Shoulders. They do call me the Winkle Man. Yes, that is true. But that is because my genitals represent a very small boat-dwelling barnacle. Nothing to do with this strictly presenter. Also, I want, in the comments today, my question for you is, what is the most said sentence? So what sentence has been said the most? Could it be the poetic, I love you? My personal bet is cheese and toasted. That's what I think has been said the most. I've heard it a million times. Don't lie, Joe, you don't have friends. Thank you, Casey, one of my friends there, saying that. Cheers, Casey, mate. It means a lot. Honestly, it really, really does. Right. Let's have a look back at some other fun things then. Paul Pogba's in Paris Fashion Week. And right, to the layman, you're going to look at that and think, he's on crutches, he's injured. But I have had some correspondence with some very anti-Pogba Twitter accounts that are telling me that despite looking like crutches, they are in fact aluminum swagger pipes. And they cost a hefty $5,000 a piece. So once again, Paul Pogba is flouting his money and his wealth, this time in Paris, making a mockery of us as United fans. Look at those aluminum swagger pipes. Unbelievable. Honestly, social media these days, getting to the bottom of all of these things. He's not injured, he's taking the piss, and those swagger pipes better get melted down and made into, I don't even know, an apology bracelet for all of the United fans. Quite simply disgraceful. Next up, Romelu Lukaku's bed is simply too big. Look at the size of that. What is he doing? What is this? This is something from the Playboy Mansion, this bed. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. It's 4 pillows wide. My bed's 2 pillows wide, and I'll be honest, it's too wide. Beds aren't too... unless you've got a single bed or one of those caravan beds, which is basically just a Snickers with a blanket on it, beds aren't too narrow. Beds are sometimes too short if you're tall like me. My feet do hang off the end, and occasionally my toes do get burnt on my radiator. But beds aren't too narrow. Look at the size of this thing. This is a Noah's Ark of a bed. Right, it's one of those beds that's sort of set up in like a seedy, like, let's face it, establishment, where this bed is planned to have maybe 10 or 12 people on it at a time, if you know what I mean. But of course, I shouldn't really pass comment on that. What he does in his own bed is up to him. Also, it's right up to the window, look. Just from an internal decorating perspective, this bed is a nightmare. It's at least 2 feet too wide. But you know what? I'm happy for him. More power to him. If he wants a bed that's the size of, what? You know, the Vatican, fair play to him. Right, let's have a look at the latest Manchester United news. For God's sake, give us something good here. Give us something good. I'm rolling the dice. Nothing, lads. We've worked our hardest for this. I think we should stay friends. That's Adam being rude. Some of the comments in here are very genital heavy. That bed is big enough for Shaw's brunch. Very nice breakfast in bed there. California King. I think it's bigger than that. I went on the website and they said our beds are as luxurious as the people who buy them. This is from Chris Bricky. He says 195 cm, 140 kg, a woman, 2 dogs, 2 cats. Yes, bed needs to be bigger. Is that you or is that Romelu Lukaku? Because I think that's taller than Lukaku. To be honest, 195 cm, very impressive, sir. And woman, I'm assuming you mean alive, but that hasn't been stated. 4 pillows wide, yeah, that's the measurement of beds. I think that's the feet and inches are dispensed with. As soon as you cross over that sort of DFS, what's the word? Come on, Joe. Threshold, there we go. It's a whole different world. It's a whole different ballgame in terms of units of measurement. Hi, Joe. Pleasure to be in the live audience. We have got a live audience today. Can we get a round of applause from the live audience, please? Thank you very much. Stretford, Paddock. I want a big round of applause at the end of the show as well, which will be coming up very soon. Ross Murphy, spot on. I haven't read the first comment, but I couldn't agree more. Joe, are you related to Hosier? No, but I have had that comparison before. Not really anything like I can't sing. Kamucha says, Joe, are you American? In a way, half American. Becky says, me. He's a goalie at uni, 195 centimetres. Wow. He does seemingly have 1 girlfriend already, but if you are a lady and you would like to be a second girlfriend, do apply to Chris Bricky there, because, I mean, his bed's wide enough. I'm coming down from Scotland. Can I get a cuddle, Joe? Absolutely not, Barry. Not from me anyway. Maybe from somewhere else. There are a couple of late-night establishments just up the road that would take a man of your background. It's a Scots-only evening venue, let's say. Cotton Eye Joe, thank you. Mikura Blonde says applause. Applause! Stop! Most said sentence, I haven't got any money on me. That's a really good one. I'm going to write that down. That's from Vikram Singh. Sorry, mate, I ain't got any. Yeah, very, very good. Vikram, I just wrote your name. I didn't write the comment because I wrote the wrong thing. You look like Adam Sandler, lol. No, I don't. I hate the fact that people are rewriting the past few weeks with Ashley Young. He's left the club a disgrace for me. Ooh, Oliver Edwards. Oliver, get the cans down, you mate, and lighten up. What gig, Camucho? Again, haven't read the first comment, only read the reply. That is bad presenting from me. I'm jealous of your hair. Come here, you can have it. They're clapping because you're late night better than Stephen Howson. Oh, he pays the bills, and that's all I'll say. Joey's Bruno a done deal? Yes or no? Yes or no? And I couldn't tell you either way. One more time before we go then, let's go over this Bruno news, because to say this is a fractured and nervy looking transfer would be to state the bare minimum in terms of emotions. Jesus Christ, what a sentence. Manchester United, this is reported early in the day, Manchester United close to £60 million Bruno Fernandes deal. The Portuguese international could complete his switch after Sporting's derby with Benfica on Friday evening. United will pay $43 million up front, with an extra £17 million in potential add-ons. Fernandes is set to earn around £120,000 a week at the Old Trafford club. But then, the twist of all twists. Darren Fletcher, not that one. Bruno Fernandes moved to Man United is in severe doubt unless Sporting Lisbon drastically reduce their asking price. A lot of big words. A lot of... You're playing it up, Darren. Oh, God. He's basically said Sporting want 80 million. United only want to pay 55. I can't do this anymore, Darren. I've put my heart and soul into this. And if we don't sign Bruno Fernandes, I will let that bird peck my eyes out on the rocks like some Promethean YouTuber. Absolutely disgraceful. I can't stand it anymore. I simply can't stand it anymore. So, I don't know if we're signing Bruno Fernandes. Seemingly no one knows. The only thing I will say in a positive note, as I said before, every recent transfer United have had, Jesus, I'm getting excited, has had, again, very well done, a doubtful seed planted in the moments leading up to the transfer. So before the Wan-Bissaka transfer, we heard that Crystal Palace's expectations of a fee wasn't met, and then it was done. Maguire, we heard Leicester's transfer expectations haven't been met, and then the transfer was done. So hopefully this is just that final ironing out process that makes it look like United have got a good deal. Also, if you think about it, here's my final conspiracy before we go. If you were United and you said the night before the transfer, so we know that we've signed Bruno for 60 million. If we then tell journalists they wanted 80 and we got him for 60, that looks brilliant, doesn't it? I'm clutching at straws, but there is a chance United are doing this to make themselves look good. I don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. You know what, everyone? It's been a great show. Stop that. But all great things have to come to an end. Joe wants an independent England. I've never said that. Absolutely haven't said that. Can we see the Howson video again? I'll show it you at the end. Stop asking me things. I'm trying to wrap the show up. Right. Joe leads horses off cliffs. Now that, I shouldn't have read that because that is insane. If we can just get a timeout for Jacob in the chat there, that was disgusting behaviour. Thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully you're all watching the Benfica game, the Sporting game, the potential Bruno Fernandes. It's basically like watching his Tinder profile, isn't it? This game. This is the best bits. He put a lovely ball in earlier that almost led to a goal, but will he join United? We're going to have to find out. We're going to bring you all of that, of course, on Stretford Paddock. We've got build up to the game at the weekend, the big game, the big game against the Anfield Club. We're going to be playing Liverpool at the weekend. We'll bring you all the build up to that. Happy weekend, everyone. Give me a round of applause. Good night. Woo-hoo!